So what if I told you that two of the most influential people in tech, we're talking OpenAI's co-founder and the former CEO of Google, what if they basically agree on a timeline for AI that's going to completely reshape our world? And what if that timeline wasn't some far-off dream, but it actually started this year? Well, their message is urgent, and honestly, it's a 6-year countdown that we all really need to wrap our heads around.
You know that old saying, you may not take interest in politics, but politics will take interest in you? Well, Ilya Sutskever, one of the brilliant minds behind OpenAI, says that exact same thing applies to AI, but like 100 times over. It's not a niche topic for tech nerds anymore. This is a force that's about to touch your job, your life, your future, whether you're paying attention or not. And hey, if you're thinking this is all happening way down the road, you gotta readjust. Sutskever believes we're living in what he calls the most unusual time ever. And why? Because this whole AI transformation, it isn't coming. It's already here. It's already building a new reality all around us.
I mean, just think about it. In just the last couple of years, AI has totally flipped the script on what it means to be a student, and it's already chipping away at the edges of professional work, changing what we do all day. These are not small tweaks, you know? This is like we're on the ground floor of a skyscraper that's being built at an absolutely unbelievable speed.
Okay, so if that's where we are right now, the future is coming at us at breakneck speed. This brings us to what former Google CEO Eric Schmidt calls the San Francisco consensus. It's basically this startling 6-year timeline that, behind the scenes, all the major players in AI are quietly nodding along to. All right, so here it is. Just take a second to really let this sink in. In 1 year, the prediction is that AI replaces the vast majority of programmers. Then, in just 3 to 5 years, we hit artificial general intelligence, or AGI. And only a year or two after that, artificial superintelligence. This isn't some 20-year fantasy. This is all supposed to happen before this decade is even over. It's wild. And just look at the scale of that first prediction. We're not talking about a little shift. This is the complete upending of an entire profession in 12 months. And according to Schmidt, it's totally plausible. Because when you think about it, computer code is actually a much simpler, more logical language for an AI to master than messy human speech. You just give it a goal, and it'll write and rewrite code until it gets it right. And this is not just a theory. It's already happening. Right now, in the top AI labs, somewhere between 10 and 20% of all new code is being written by other AIs. This is the engine that's making everything go so fast. It's a concept called recursive self-improvement. The AI is literally helping build the next, smarter version of itself. It's a feedback loop that doesn't just add to its intelligence, it multiplies it. We're talking exponential growth. And that exponential curve leads us straight to the next stop on the timeline, AGI. Okay, so what is AGI? Imagine a single system that has the genius of an Einstein, the creativity of a Picasso, and the strategic mind of the world's best CEO, all rolled into one. That's AGI. It has all the flexibility and creativity of a human mind, but with the ridiculous scale and speed of a computer. So you have this super smart AI, how does it actually do stuff in the real world? Well, according to Schmidt, the answer is a concept he calls agentic solutions. This slide gives you a perfect, simple example. Imagine you just tell an AI, I want to build a house, and that's it. Instead of you doing anything, a whole team of AI agents just gets to work. One agent finds and evaluates the perfect piece of land. Another one handles all the legal paperwork. Other agents work on the blueprints, hire the contractor, manage the entire project until it's done. Each agent is a specialist, tackling one complex piece of the larger goal. Now, take that idea and scale it way up. Instead of building a house, the goal could be run this Fortune 500 company, or manage this city's logistics, or find a cure for cancer. That same agent-based system becomes a blueprint for automating pretty much any complex process in our entire society. I mean, what couldn't this transform? The implications are just staggering. And that leads us to the final mind-bending step on this timeline, ASI, or artificial superintelligence. This is where it gets really hard to even wrap your head around. We're not just talking about an AI that's smarter than the smartest person. We're talking about an intelligence that is greater than the sum total of every single human brain on Earth combined. I know. That timeline, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, which, of course, brings up the most logical question in the world. How on earth could any of this even be possible? Let's dive into the core logic that has these experts convinced that this incredible leap is not just possible, but maybe even inevitable. So yeah, this is the question, right?
This is probably what you're thinking. It feels completely unimaginable, almost unbelievable. Is there any simple, straightforward reason to believe a machine can actually reach that level of intelligence?
Well, according to Ilya Sutskever, the logic is actually beautiful in its simplicity. He basically says, look, everything we are, our intelligence, our creativity, our consciousness, it all comes from a biological computer, which is our brain. It's just a machine made of meat. So if biology can pull it off, why can't a digital computer do the same thing? There's no law of physics stopping it, and eventually it could probably do it a whole lot better.
And if you buy that logic, then the consequences that follow are just profound. An ASI wouldn't just be able to do any job a human can do. It would then turn that incredible intelligence to the hardest problems we have in science, medicine, physics, you name it. That would trigger an explosion of discovery, a rate of progress so fast it's almost impossible for us to even imagine today.
And we have to be honest here. This is the point where our logical brain and our emotional brain just collide. Sutskever himself admits that even he has trouble really internalizing this future. It's one thing to understand the argument intellectually. It's a totally different thing to really feel in your gut that this absolutely radical future isn't just possible, but probable.
So, with this insane speed and these astronomical stakes, what does it all mean for us, for humanity? This isn't just another piece of tech. According to the very people building it, this is nothing less than the greatest challenge we will ever face. It's our ultimate test. Sutskever frames this moment perfectly with this incredible duality. On one hand, creating superintelligence is, without a doubt, the single greatest challenge our species has ever taken on. But on the other hand, if we can get it right, if we can navigate this successfully, the reward is also the greatest we could ever imagine. A future without disease, without poverty, maybe without our current limitations.
So what are we supposed to do? The call to action is surprisingly simple. Pay attention, don't ignore this, and most importantly, use the technology. Play with it, engage with it, and start to build your own intuition for what it's capable of. Because it's only by really understanding its power firsthand that we can, as a society, find the energy and the wisdom to solve the huge problems that are going to come with it.
And the real urgency comes from this final, critical point from Eric Schmidt. This technology is moving at a speed that our institutions, they just weren't built for. Our laws, our democratic process, our social norms, they're all lagging way, way behind. And that massive gap between how fast the tech is moving and how slow society is to adapt, that's the real danger zone.
And so, it all comes down to this one question. The timeline is out there. The technology is accelerating like nothing we've ever seen. Looking at this future, a future that could really be here in just 6 years, are we ready? Are you ready for what comes next?